everyone. Sorry for showing up late. I am Gina coming to you live from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, where I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. We had a few technical difficulties. Our equipment was not charging like it was supposed to, so we were running low on batteries. So I hope that we will finally we'll make it through this video okay. Here we go. There's myself talking. You guys don't want to hear me twice, do you? Okay, Rose is here. Welcome, Rose. So we have had like an exciting month. Rose has joined my team and 5 other people. So I have 6 people on my team now. So yay. I am so excited for that. And with that, I promoted to Silver Elite. So it's super exciting. I've been working at that for the last 2 years or so. So we did it. So thank you all for those who joined my team, and it was a lot of work, but we did it, and thank you to all of you for joining me in this journey. So with that being said, Cheryl is here, and so is Mary Novak. I have lots of stuff coming up for you in the month of November. I kind of jam-packed it all in, and remember back in October, about mid-October, I kind of teased you guys with the fact that I am going to be doing something new, and it's a bit of a surprise. So I'm super excited to finally kind of announce all the details of that, but I won't be able to give all of it away because it's a surprise too. So I'm going to kick off with that because that is what I'm most excited about. I mean, I'm excited for all of it, but I'm really excited. This is kind of like my baby that I'm doing, and kind of the first big event, I guess. I shouldn't say it's not really an event, but it's a cool new class that I'm offering. So it is called the Winter Creative Surprise Box. And what this is, so I'm going to flip you down. I'm going to show you my little flyer, and you guys will see it on my Facebook page. But here's my little flyer. So what this comes with, you are going to make 10 projects, 5 cards, I should say 4 cards, a calendar, and then I have 5 other surprises for you. But I'm only showing you half. So when you unbox it, you'll see the surprise. So I'll tell you there'll be some maybe 3D projects. There's goodies in there, of course. Hello, Nicole. So what's all included in this box? So you got 10 projects, right? Some goodies in there. You're gonna get a pack of the Peaceful Garden DSP. So it's the pretty blues and paper. So here, I'm going to show you the 5 projects. So here are, I got lots going on today. 5 projects that you get to see. So this will be a calendar. I didn't put the calendar in yet, but this will be a calendar for 2026. And these are the 4 cards that you'll be making. Okay, so we have the 4 cards, calendar, and then I have 5 surprises for you to unveil in your little goodie box. So you get a full pack of this paper. Isn't it pretty? So it's got some floral, but it's got some winter themes to it. So I feel like it's a good wintry paper. Therefore, we went with the winter theme, snowflakes and things like that for this very first box. So you get the full pack of the DSP. You're going to get a half a pack of the glimmer paper. So the glimmer paper is Secret Sea. There's a really bright blue in there. I'm not sure. It's brighter than a normal blues. I didn't really use it so far in any of my projects. And then there's one that looks silvery but has a hint of almost kind of green in it. So I'm guessing that's probably a cloud cover glimmer paper. So you'll get that. You'll get a half a pack of that, full pack of DSP, a full roll of the Secret Sea ribbon. Let's see, a pack of rhinestones. Plus I'm going to send you all the die cuts. I think there's some extra ribbon I'll be throwing in there. Envelopes. You'll get the tutorial. And I will be doing kind of 2 videos. For those who did not purchase it, you'll get to see an unveiling of the box, but that won't be done until it's shipped and I know everyone has it, because I don't want to ruin the surprise for anyone. And then I will do a private video for those who purchased this box that will show you how to make all 10 of the projects. Okay, so I don't have a date exactly for those videos yet. I think Christine and I are working out the shipping date. Right now my plan is to ship December 1st, but those of you who combine shipping and things like that, I think Christine has December 5th for her ship date. So we're gonna work out something like that. So boxes are gonna ship around that first week in December. Now the cost of this will be $89. And like I said, you'll get all that product. You'll have leftover product to make other things. You'll get the 10 projects, the videos, the tutorial, all of that wrapped in a nice little box and ready for you to unbox it from the mail. So very excited about this. So it's a combination of, let's say, a mystery box. So there's a little mystery there and a little bit, so it's a combination of both. So kind of the happy medium. I was originally gonna just make it a mystery box, and then Chris was like, people like to see what they're making. So I kind of did a half and half. So I'm really excited to share this for you guys. So you have to RSVP with payment by November 16th. So reach out. You can reach me by email, Facebook. You can call or text me. But like I said, the due date for this is the 16th, and then I'll order product, cut it, package it, go from there. Okay, so that's the big one. Now what's coming up for November? I have lots coming up. I have 2 classes to finish, but I'm going to try to start at the beginning of the month and work our way through. Today you'll see the gift card class, so I'll keep those set aside. Then we have the Traditions of Christmas Scrapbooking Workshop. So I take the workshop. So this is Keeping Traditions, right? I said that right. Keeping Traditions Workshop. This is a product-based class. You need to have the workshop or add it to your order. It is a $70 order with me. You can order $70 of whatever you want if you have this kit already. If you don't have the kit, add this kit, and let's say you need adhesive, dimensionals, whatever, a stamp set, whatever you want to get to the 70. When you've done that, I will send you an additional kit. That additional kit comes with more cardstock, die cut pieces, ribbon, gems. And then what I do with the kit is I make 6 alternative scrapbook pages with it and 5 cards. Now I don't have this one finished yet, but I have 2 of the pages. So these are the 2 pages. And like I said, you get extra things, the gems, die cut pieces to go with it, and ribbon. So you get an additional kit from me. Okay, so that is coming up. Friday the 14th, I'll be live on YouTube, and Sunday we'll be doing it in person. Then we have, thank you Janelle, hello Mary, card buffet. We'll also be doing card buffet on that Sunday the 16th. It's going to be featuring all things Christmas. So for those of you who want to do it in person, a card buffet works where you get to pick and choose what you want to make and how many you want to make. So there's 6 cards. You can make all 6. You can pick and choose, I want 2 of this one, 2 of this one, and 2 of this one. That's how it works in person. Online, for those of you who want the class online, you get all 6 cards. They're $32 plus shipping. So you have a couple weeks to get your orders in for this class. And if anyone really wants these now, I'm going to talk to Christine because she's working on shipping right now, and I have stuff for October to ship. So I'm kind of opposite what Chris does. Chris is kind of like, she has all her classes prepped and then she does the classes. I do my classes, so I've done my October classes, and then I take orders and then I ship. So I'm on the back end and she's on the front end. But I'm going to try to work out that if anybody wants some of this stuff before she ships, we'll hold your box for a couple days, and I will try to get some of this out for you before the December shipping. So let me know if you would like to do that. So we have those 6 cards, and then I gotta make sure I have everything here. Morning Create is coming up on the 17th. So we just create 3 cute cards here. So this class is done in person and online. Class is $19 plus shipping. Like I said, if you want shipping with Christine, let me know. We try to condense shipping to save you guys money, right? That's what it's all about. We can save you money in shipping. You can have more fun stamping. Okay. I also have one more class that I am designing. That is coming up the end of the month, the 29th of November. I am doing samplers again. So most of you know that I did some samplers for fall. I did a Halloween one and a fall one, and they were a huge success. So we're gonna do 2 more samplers. One is going to be themed Christmas and one will be themed winter. So we'll use like snowflakes or something like that. So I have to design those classes yet. So mark your calendars for that. And I think that is, oh, I have one class right away, beginning of December. December 1st, we will be doing bingo in person. So mark your calendars for that too. Otherwise, I think we're ready to stamp. Just kind of making sure things are working here. I hope to not lose you. I think we're charging finally. Those of you who joined late, we had some charging issues and things were not running as smoothly as we had hoped. But I think we're good to go. So, oh, one more thing. See, I have notes today. You guys aren't going to believe that. I actually have notes. So, October. I kept saying I'm going to do prize patrol for sharing, right? Sharing is caring, and I love to give prizes away, and I didn't do that. So, for the month of October, I have my prize winners being Melanie Foy and Sandy Coy Emery. So congratulations, ladies. Thank you so much for sharing my videos. I appreciate you guys doing that. That helps spread the word out. That shows people what I'm offering and helps me grow. So once again, we'll be doing that for November. So today's class, let me know that you're sharing, liking. So comment in the video here or comment on Facebook. I try to post all my videos on my Facebook page because that's where I primarily am. So just let me know that you shared and I will enter you in for this month's prizes. So ladies, congrats. And as always, guys, this is where you guys can reach me. Facebook, make sure you're following me there. Glitter and Ink with Gina. My email is gina@gmail.com, and here is my phone number. So this is the best ways to contact me, and let's get stamping. How's that sound? So we have gift cards today, and I don't know about many of you, but I do. I've got lots and lots of teenage kids in my life right now, and of course, what do they want? They want money. They want gift cards. The days of going and getting something really cute in the toy aisle and are kind of over. I've kind of got the boring stage in my life. So I like to make gift card holders. So we have 4 gift cards for you guys today that we're going to make. And we have 2 that are kind of like interactive here. Well, actually, they're all a little interactive. This one kind of slides up a little bit. So let's get stamping. Let's see, what do I have coming up first? Let's see, I think we'll do the gingerbread man. He's up front here. I feel, thank you, Nicole, for sharing. I feel like I'm a little backwards. We're upstairs today, and everything is kind of in different spots than downstairs because they're working on shipping. So I feel a little out of place right now as far as where is everything. So oops, and I'm dropping things. So we have some real red here. this is how your gingerbread men, the dies come. And so you can fold it and make a card. But we're just going to use one side. But I just wanted to show you guys this. This is from the Ginger Man bundle. So we're using this bundle right here. And this is how these dies come. So it's really, really cool. So you can just cut them apart. We're going to be covering up his hand. So if you wanted one gingerbread man and you wanted both hands to show, you just have to cut, you know, around your edge here. But I'm actually going to cut a straight line here. And like I said, we're covering up his hand, so it doesn't matter, okay? Either one. So in your kits, because it cuts out two, some will get with the left hand cut off, some will get with the right hand cut off. I know it sounds really mean that I'm cutting off our gingerbread boy, but so you can just move your candy canes and stuff accordingly. Okay, so I have your piece scored for you. This is your card base here. So you're gonna fold on the score lines. And then there's gonna be an extra red piece. Now, I will have this scored for you, but I thought I would show you guys what we're doing here. So on this long side, so this side is 7 inches, and you're gonna score at 2 6.5. And make sure you're not using your cutting blade. Okay, so just in those 2 spots, and we will burnish those edges also. Actually, I believe this piece is going to go up like that, and this piece is going to go back. So they're going to be going opposite directions. Okay, so now we're going to do all of our stamping stuff. So you got two pieces of DSP here, our inside piece, our sentiment for outside. Now, if you don't have these stamp sets, like I said, most of the pieces are die cut for you, but we're gonna stamp some gumdrops in a little bit, and you could just color them in if you wanted to. Just take a marker and color them, or just stick them in your ink and tap them around. Now, if you don't have the gingerbread boy, and you know, I have them white embossed here, which what you could do if you don't have this at home, you could take and give him a baked look. Take your pecan pie and go around the edges and give him a baked look. And then you could just use a black marker, or if you happen to have a white craft marker, you could use that too and just draw a face on him as well. So if you don't have this, that's okay. So he is a big stamp. So we use the F block for this guy. And you want to bring in your embossing buddy. And I always tap my embossing buddy on here and really get that powder on there to make sure that we are getting any oil residue from your fingers or anything like that off of our guy. We're going to use our Versamark and ink it up really, really well. And you could flip your black over and stamp it this way. I tend to stamp opposite, and I place everything on top of. Bring in our white embossing powder. How many of you like to emboss? There is something totally magical about heat embossing. Okay, we'll set that aside. Now we'll bring in our heat tool. And heat this up. And what happens with this is like the powder melts, and how you know it's done is all of a sudden it'll become shiny. So I don't know if you guys can start seeing it. So it's gonna become shiny and it's gonna become a brighter white. And I missed some of the hand here with ink, but I'm not too worried about that because we're gonna cover that up. Hello, Melanie. You're just popping on, but congratulations. You were a winner in October's drawing for sharing the videos. So congrats again, and I will get that prize sent out in the mail to you. Okay. What I forgot to do was give him a face. He needs a face, right? So he's got like four different faces, four different faces. So you could pick a winky eye, a surprise, a smiley, and I feel like this one has some eyelashes on it, so it could be a little girly. So it just depends what you feel like. Okay, we'll heat emboss this little smile on here. I have to say, after playing with this set, I'm ready to bake some Christmas cookies. Okay, so next we're gonna start assembling him, and I'm gonna pop up his hat and his scarf. It's looking pretty breezy outside. The leaves are blowing. So he's got a cute little scarf and hat. And we use Secret Sea. If you guys can't tell, that is one of my favorite colors. It is the perfect, like, it's definitely blue, but the ink is, I'm telling you guys, it's the new black. Okay, so here's our scarf. You're so ready to make Christmas cookies too, Melanie? Let's go. I know my daughter, she is so pumped. She's like, Mom, we gotta get the Christmas tree out. So we might be decorating a little bit early this year. We've been working on doing some fall cleaning and finishing up the yard work for this winter. My daughter actually, she took and put some Christmas trees in her room already. That's how excited she is. So you have two pieces. Now your candy cane may look different from this one. So this set also, like the gingerbread man, the two pieces, so I just laid a white piece over that has the detail, and then I had a solid red candy cane. They come as one die. So when you cut it out, you cut out both of these pieces in red and both pieces in white. So some of you will get a candy cane that looks like this in this kit, Oops, I lost my little gem here. Or some will have the red outline. So it'll vary, but they're still adorable. Yeah, you love his beanie. I do too. I love his little beanie. Okay, and then we have our little peppermint. So I went with pretty in pink for this one, something a little bit different. I don't know about you guys, but I get kind of, after a while, the red and green kind of get to me, and I want to do non-traditional colors for Christmas. So I liked adding this pop of pink in here. So he nestles in like that, and then we're going to do a little bit of stamping now. So I've got Pretty in Pink, Pool Party, and Real Red we're going to use. We're going to dig out the gumdrops here. So the gumdrops are both connected like this. So all I'm going to do, now you could cut these apart if you wanted to, but I am actually just going to ink up them individually. So I've got the large one here, and I'm going to grab one of these large gumdrops, place it on top like that. We have gumdrop number 1, and then just clean off. You run out of red cardstock doing that. So then you have to pick other colors. I know, like, you know, you just go through stuff and you move on to the next one, right? So, okay, so you guys are team Real Red, or are you guys team Cherry Cobbler? Or Poppy Parade. So we have 3 beautiful reds to choose from. Does anyone have a favorite red they like to use? I have to say, I have a favorite color combo that's a little bit different. I think it came out with Signs of Santa. I don't remember when that set came out. And they came out with Pool Party and Poppy Parade as the color combination. And I'll be honest, I completely fell in love with that combination. So that is another one of my favorite go-to colors for Christmas. So now I have the small one I'm inking up in red. So we have 3 different colored gumdrops. Mary, you're a Cherry Cobbler. Okay, 1 for Team Cherry Cobbler. I love the deepness of Cherry Cobbler. I love the richness of it, but I also love the boldness, the brightness of Poppy Parade. Okay, so then we have our sentiment here. Sugar and spice and everything nice. We're going to stamp that in Real Red. On our white strip, and we're going to stamp it over slightly to the right side because we're going to put our gumdrops to the left of it. Nice. Okay, another one for Cherry Cobbler. I put the red away, but so now we're going to stamp our inside. And I'm going to use I used Merry Christmas. I think this was from Jolly Holly stamp set, but I think I'm going to use Be Jolly on the inside of this one. And this comes from Ornamental Christmas. Now, one thing you want to note, so this is going to be the inside of your card. This is going to get placed up here like this. So you're going to have all this red space here, but we're covering that up. So just make note that as you place this, where you want to put your sentiment, because you're going to be covering up a portion of your white. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave my white on here like that. And stamp my sentiment. Just dropped a dimensional back right in my ink pad. And then those gumdrops, I'm going to ink up again, one in pink and one in Pool Party. So just like that. And I'm going to put these gumdrops up in the corner like that. So now we have the inside done and stamped. And we have our outside stamped. It looks like I'm coloring the back of my dimensional, so I better close these ink pads. Okay, time for a little bit of Stella and then time for assembly. So of course, we're gonna wink up everything because everything is better with a little bit of Stella, and I need to add some alcohol to this one to help drag it out a little bit. It's kind of dried out. Okay. So now, this is how this is going to go. You've got your snowy background, DSP. Now this is from the North Pole, so it has the pets with it, North Pole delivery. I don't know if you guys noticed, we're going to be using that paper twice in here. There's some really pretty paper in there, and I have used it quite a bit lately. So there we go, there's the top. And our other piece is going to go down here. But before we do that, I almost got ahead of myself. We are going to put our label on. And the other thing we're going to do is we're going to center it for the most part, but I'm going to slightly move it down a little bit so that I have just a little bit more space, not a lot, just a little bit more space on the top than the bottom, because we're going to take that red and white twine and wrap it along the top there. Oops. So wrap it around. So it's going to go right along the edge here of our label. And now this can go on the bottom of your card. Okay, so just like that. Oh, I forgot one thing. See, this is what happens. Hello, Miss Karen. I get all excited, I start putting things together, but what you should not do is do what I do this every class. I always do something for you guys to catch me making mistakes. So I should have put on my gingerbread boy first, and then he gets cut off right there. So I'm going to just eyeball it so I get a nice straight line. And we're gonna just chop his legs off, right? I think I gotta go about here, I'm guessing. Because I wanna make sure that his hat is on our card. So, learn from me. Oh, we gotta cut a little bit more off. Glue him on your piece of DSP and then cut off the extra. There we go. His little knot on the top is sticking out, but that's okay. So we glue him down. Like so. He goes right at the bottom here. He's so stinking cute. Okay, now we're gonna layer our candy cane and our peppermint on his hand. So like I said, some of you will have the hand that's cut off on the left side, and some of you will have the hand on the right side. But we are covering that up so you won't even notice. Like that, and then we'll put our peppermint on. I have to say I was a little disappointed in Target yesterday. I went there, I had a little break at work, and I went to pick up things, and I was hoping like the whole world exploded Christmas in there, and they were not set up for Christmas yet. So I was a little shocked at that. Okay, so our gumdrops are gonna go on now. I am going to glue a small one and a big one down and pop one big one up. We'll put that one there. I've got my blue one popped up. And we'll stick the red one like that. Isn't he adorable? Oh my goodness. Okay, so now I need to make a bow. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I swear that by this bow maker, I don't know that I could make bows if I didn't have this bow maker. There we go. I'll use a glue dot to put this one on. The wind has really picked up. Holy cow, it's like howling away out there. You put a little bow right here. And cut your ends at whatever length you would like them at. Okay, and now time for the fun part here, the mechanism part, I guess. So we're gonna glue this on to here, and remember, this is gonna be up closer to the top. You're gonna have this empty space down there. That, and this we're gonna use, you could use tear tape or your liquid glue, whatever your preference is. I'm just putting a thin layer. And I'm going to close it there. So you want to make sure it's only on your edges, because this is your pocket. Okay, and now you're going to take this piece, it's going to slide into that pocket. Okay, that little 1/2-inch tab that we have up here. So I'm going to slide this back out. I just wanted to show you guys how that slid in like that. This is going to go up here. I'm going to leave it slightly above my score line, okay? Just slightly above. That maybe like a 1/16 of an inch or so. You don't want to put it right on the score line or your card will not close right, okay? So now that that is down, I'm just going to take, and this will tuck in here just like that. Now we don't glue our ends down here. It's a really thin space here, so your gift card has the ability to slide a little bit, but just tucks right in here like this, and as your card closes and opens, this will lift it up. So if you were to go like this, your gift card would fall out. I tried to make this a little bit bigger so that you had more space, but you don't have enough space to glue this down or to have this mechanism slide if you make this piece bigger so that you can glue this down. I tried it, it didn't work. So that ended up in the garbage. So that's why this piece stays open here. There's just not enough space, especially with the gift card. Now, if you wanted to, you could, and you could put your gift card that way if you really wanted to make sure that it stayed adhered down. But I want them, when they open the card, to see the sentiment in that. So I want my gift card tucked in like that, okay? And like I said, it does this really cool. Ta-da! So super cute, right? I love it. And I'm hoping teenage kids, when they open this, they'll think, okay, that was really cool. And I'm amazing, right? So, all right, I decorated my guy with the Traditions of Christmas gems, but they are on back order right now. I don't know where my gems are this morning. I grabbed them, I put them in my bin. I don't see them. So what I was going to do is put peppermints on here instead of these sequins. I love the sequins. Like I said, they're on back order, and they're on back order until I think the 17th or 24th of November. So I am substituting them with these peppermints right here. So I thought those would look really cute on him too. So there is card number 1 for you this morning. Okay, card number 2 will be I think this is going to be Santa Claus here. Yep. Here we go. So I don't know about you guys, but I love, they came up with some fun sets for kids. So we got the gingerbread man and now Festive Friends. I love these guys. Now, if you don't have Festive Friends, you could substitute with anything that you have. So we're using Festive Friends actually twice today. We're using the little elf in here and the Santa. There's also a snowman in here. But if you don't have this, you could substitute it with another snowman that you have at home or a different Santa that you have at home. So I will give you a white square and you can cut out whatever you have at home, but I'll have the trees for you cut out and stuff like that. So, okay. So this is that Traditions of Christmas paper. So you have one side that has that really pretty gold on there. And then the other side is solid. And I love that they snuck in a little bit of the Secret Sea. I think it was a nice addition for the holidays. Rose, what I do to order my kits, if you just want to send me a message on my email, if you want to say, hey, you know, what you want to order, and you can order just the kits or you can place an order and then get the kits for free. So completely up to you. But if you send me by email, that's the easiest way. Otherwise, you know, you can message me on Facebook and say what you want to order, or you can call me or text me. So whatever works best for you. Okay, so we have Real Red here, and we're going to bring in our trimmer again because we have to do a little bit of scoring. So on this long side, we are going to score at 4. Now, hers is opposite mine, so I really need to pay attention here. I have my score blade up here, and she's got her cutting blade here, so I have to pay attention. And then we are going to score at 3/8 on each end on the short side. Okay. So what we do here, we're going to score on our score lines like this. And on both ends, that little piece there. And that's the hardest part about this whole card. Okay, so now to make this, we're going to adhere glue on these edges like this. Like I said, it's up to you what glue. I used to be a big fan of tear tape, but I have found that liquid glue pretty much takes care of everything and has a little bit more staying power. So then when you fold this, you just want to make sure both sides are even. Okay, and while this is setting up here, we'll do some of our stamping. So this is Festive Friends, and aren't they cute? I just think they are so adorable. So I'm going to pull out Ho Ho. My kids struggled with saying Santa when they were younger, so they called him Ho Ho. He was Ho Ho. So we're going to ink him up in Secret Sea because it is the new black. And I just lay him over the top. And always pray that it turned out okay. All right, look at that, perfectly slammed. I slid Santa here, so I thought, I smudged them all up, but I didn't. And while we have our secret C out, we are going to stamp our sentiment. So we're going to put, we wish you a Merry Christmas. So I just have a little, those strips that we use, or we cut off to make our cards. Just a nice scrap there. And we will do the back right away. So here we have a little label for the back. We'll stamp a tree. So there's this big tree in here. And we use Granny Apple Green. And we're just using a portion of the tree. So I'm not stamping the whole tree on here, just a portion. So I'm going to stamp them taller and shorter and another short one in there. So I've got a first strength, a second strength, and a third strength here. And while I have the green out, I might as well, I did this with one of the trees. I took my blending brush just so you had some color variation between the two. And I just tap it in, go off to the side here, and I'm just gonna brush the edges a little bit, just to darken one tree. There we go. And then we also have to and from in this set. So we'll stamp that on the back. So how is everyone doing on getting their Christmas cards made for this season? Is everyone doing well? There we go. Question is, have you started? I know a lot of you have said you've started already, so that is it for stamping on this card. Okay. Now let's put our layers on. So here is the end of the open end of my card. So this will get glued on. It's just a real thin, real red border. And then we have a piece of, actually, hold up. That's what I thought. Okay, now we're gonna punch our hole in here. So this is actually an old punch that I had where it has 3 different ways to do your ends. So we're just gonna stick this in here like this. We're gonna center it. Felt like it was stuck here, it wasn't going in. And center it the best that you can in here. Nice thing is this you can see where you're centering this, and make sure you push firmly in the center because we're going through 2 layers of cardstock and DSP. And there we go. So it cut through on both sides. You could use a regular hole punch at home, whatever you have at home. I know we have some dies too that work for that. Aw, thanks Yvonne. I appreciate that. Okay, so now we're going to put our sentiment on the back. Then go on the back of our piece of Secret C. And then this gets centered on the back. So you just have to make sure, so Santa's going to go right here, so make sure when they flip it over, it's not wonky, right? Or upside down. So like that, and then when they flip it over, Santa and our trees will be over here. But we have to color Santa yet. So we've got some blends. We're gonna bring in some, oh, we got some real red here, dark and light. And oh man, I discovered I must be doing a lot more coloring lately, and I am in need of some new markers. My markers are not looking so hot, but my blends I have not replaced at all since I first got them. So I don't remember when Stampin' Up! Launched their blends. So that's where mine are from originally, is from the original batch here. So I'm definitely in need of replacing a bunch of these. So what I like to do is I like to color with my lights, add in a little bit of dark, and then I go back over with my light. I think it softens it and blends the color in a little bit more. Might be an extra step. So I'm like, oh, why do you go through all that work? You're kind of coloring everything over and over again. But I feel like when you take the colors and you go over them, it helps the colors blend a little bit and you don't get the lines as much. So now I'll just go in and I'm going to add a little bit of dark. A little bit on his sleeve. Like I said, now I'll take my light and just kind of blend that in. Take our Secret C, and I'm going to do the dark on this first because there's not a lot of space here. So now I'm doing the opposite what I just told you, but normally that is how I color. And I know most people would say, well, aren't you supposed to use Memento ink when doing blends? And that was what we were told when they introduced blends, that we needed to use Memento ink so that the ink doesn't blend. But I find that using our regular ink packs work just as well as Memento. So, and I love using Secret C because it's such a nice dark rich color. So this is an old one. They've changed how they do these. So this is, they called it SU 900. Now they have medium, light, dark, kind of like skin tones. So I'm assuming this would be one of the lighter ones. And that is what I'm using. If you had Petal Pink at home, you could use Petal Pink also. And I'll just go through and I'm gonna just darken the outsides and up by his hair a little bit. There we go. And I almost forgot to do one ear. Santa's always listening, right? Okay. So we've got that, and now we're ready to put our card together. So we're going to put our trees. Here's our darker tree. So we're going to glue our darker tree on. And he's going to go up just a smidge higher than this other tree. And I would Wink of Stella this trees too in Santa, but Like I said, my Wink of Stella needs some loving. Okay, and then our sentiment here, I'm just going to take one end of our sentiment and angle it slightly. I'm going to put Santa on. So Santa is going to go right here. I want to make sure that you don't cover up your hole here. And then this guy here, I'm going to get a little glue on one end and a little bit of a dimensional on the other end. And he's going to get tucked in here like so. And then, like I said, those peppermints, where did they go? I don't know, but I have a peppermint in Santa's hand, and then two up here. So now ribbon. We have this white 1/4 inch ribbon, and what you're going to do, you're going to stick it through your slot, and then you're going to take a gift card or your credit card, whatever you got at home. Just make sure you don't leave your credit card in here. And what happens is you're going to take that and push that down, and that'll give you the length on your ribbon. Okay, and you can adjust it. So now we've got that. Like so. Okay, so I've got them evened out like that. We're going to bring in that twine. And make a bow. So tie that there and there, and then not too bad. There. So now that that's done, all they have to do is they pull on that ribbon and their gift card comes out. And then you just slide the gift card back in, and then your ribbon goes back in. So how cool is that? So a little, like I said, we've got a little interactive action happening here today. So that is card number 2. Okay, card number 3. This is a fun one too. Okay. So this card is the elf card, and we make this little pop-up guy, and then your gift card will slide right in here like this. So when you close it and then you open it, it's gonna pop up like that, okay? So we've got Poppy here with some pecan. Here's that DSP. That North Pole Delivery DSP again. You've got a piece of Pool Party. You're going to get 2 little die cut pieces. This is from the DSP also, so you'll get a stamp, maybe a post office box, maybe a little critter. And then we've got these little snowflakes here. Okay, so we'll work on the front of our card. Then we will work on the mechanism portion. So these guys are going to go on a piece of your pecan pie like this. But I think, so I tried to cut these in order, so we'll see if I, maybe I didn't do this right. I don't know. Anyways, I might have used leftovers on mine. So you've got your 3 layers here. And there really is not a right or wrong way. So look at your envelopes, see how your envelopes are going. Some are upside down, some are the right way. Here we go. And you're going to leave a slight space in between each one of these. Like that. And then we're going to bring in our ribbon. So we've got the white ribbon. So this is the thicker ribbon. I believe that 1/4 inch ribbon is on clearance right now, or in the last chance spot. And if you haven't checked out that, I know they've added some stuff to that area, maybe a couple weeks ago or so. So check it out. There's lots of goodies on there. Lots of, there's DSP, there's stamp sets, gems. Okay. Cut this extra off. And then we're going to add a piece of that red and white twine over the top. Haha, you just did this layout too, but vertically. Yeah, this is, I love doing this type of layout because you really get to see the different DSP, and it's just such an easy layout to do, having these 3, you know, panels. It's nice that it can be done horizontally and vertically. Okay. So now we're going to bring in our card base. And that's ready to get glued on. Now we've got to stamp our little elf and our sentiment. So once again, our festive friends are so adorable. My favorite, Secret Sea again. So like I said, I just nestle my fingers on the outside of the stamp, and the paper is up above, so I can adjust it, and then I just press down, and there we go. For the most part, it works out pretty good every time. I do get a few times where it doesn't work out so well, but that is what I find, that just so much easier And I know with a cling stamp, usually you would stamp it and then die cut it out. And you'll get a white square. So if you don't have an elf at home, but you can stamp anything else at home. But sometimes even if this is a photopolymer stamp and you've got your die cut shape already, it's kind of hard to see the outline. So I always find that when I have a die cut like that, already die cut, and I want to stamp on it, that's the easiest way for me to do that. And we wish you a Merry Christmas. And you're going to stamp that in Secret C also. Rose, you're going to give the technique a try? Awesome. Okay. Now, let's color our little guy. So we've got Poppy for him, and one in Shaded Spruce and Pecan Pie. And of course, we're bringing in our skin tone color again. Same one that I used on Santa. So, and I like to color with my brush tips. So when my brush tips dry out, I get really sad about that. That's what's happening with my markers. The brush tip end is drying out, and or in some cases getting like it's hard. And I think that's with my Poppy what happened here. See, like my end is all crystallized and it's like not coloring. Sad day. But the blunt tip still works, even though this one not as much as the other ones. Yeah, this one isn't. It's not so hot. So I want that depth in there. So what I'm going to do is I've got some of that real red, and I'm going to use that in here also. So here's my dark real red. And I when I color, I really like to add that depth in there because I really think it helps things pop a little bit. So now I'll just take my light Poppy and just kind of go over it and blend it all in. All right, time to bring in our Shaded Spruce. And I do have to say, I really love Shaded Spruce too. So now I can see, this was probably the first time I've ever noticed this, that I maybe should have let my my elf dry a little bit before coloring him, because I can see there is a little bit of bleeding going on with the Secret C. So maybe I should have just let them just set for a little bit. I've never had that happen before, so that's new to me, but usually I don't have a problem with bleeding. All right, so now we're going to take our pecan pie and give him some cool boots and mittens and color his hair in a little bit. As far as revitalizing the blends, Rose, I am not sure about that, because they're different than, like, you can't just use a re-inker because that is a watercolor base and these are alcohol based. So I'm not really sure if there is a way to revitalize them. But in my case, like, because I use my brush tip so much, the brush tip actually kind of gets bad on there. So I end up needing a new marker anyways because I like that brush tip. But I am not aware, I don't know if anybody else is aware, I am not aware of a way to refill these at all. I wish there was a way, but like I said, I'm not aware of that. Okay. So this guy is going to go on the back, or is going to go on our circle here. Hello, Cindy. Welcome. You haven't missed too much. You've only missed 2 cards, so not so bad. So this guy goes here like that. And then we're going to pop him up again with our circle here. I should say we're going to pop the circle up. So that will go right there. I'm going to angle one end again, like we did with the last card, and put dimensionals just on the one end. And the reason we do that is because this is popped up over here, so I'm just going to put glue on that end of our label, but it's not popped up over here. So that is why when I tuck this in like this, the dimensionals down here, and then that makes my label even going across. Then we're going to make another little bow with this twine. And then our bowl is going to go right above our label. I probably should have put my label up just a little bit higher, but so it's going to go right up here on your twine, up like that. Trim your ends down. Without cutting your elf. Don't cut your poor elf's hand off. I almost did that. So there's the front like that. We do have those snowflakes, so we're going to glue those on. So just put a little dot of glue up here. Like that. And the other 2 will go in the other corner. There's another one here. He ran away. Okay, there's another itty. So you get 3 snowflakes. Mine has disappeared for now. Okay, so we'll work on the mechanism part of our card now. So we need to do some scoring. And on our long side, we are gonna score at 1.5. I better get this cutting blade out of the way. 1.5, 2 1/4, 3, 3 1/4, or 3 3/4, sorry. 4.5, and 6. Okay, so we'll see how long this takes me to do it this time. And have my husband come in and show me, because I wasn't able to figure this out at first. So we'll see on live TV how I do today. I tied that bow fast. Once you get the hang of it, you can get it going. Now some days, I'll admit my hands don't work as well with me, and those bows don't go together as easy as I would like. But for the most part, I've got that down to a science. Okay, so now you have 2 larger panels down here and a large panel up here. And then you have a bunch of score lines here. They're all 3/4 of an inch, okay? So this middle one here, right down here, is gonna go down and up, okay? So you made a little sandwich in here, okay? Making sure I'm telling you guys this right. And then this pieces are gonna get glued like this. So first you're gonna take and you're gonna put a little bit of glue like this. And I probably should have done this first and let this kind of sit so that it adheres right, but you know, I didn't. So what you could do is work on the rest of your project and then put some little clips on the ends here and let them adhere. So now this is the part where your gift card goes in. So just make sure that when you add your adhesive that you leave enough space for your gift card to go in. Okay, now this is the tricky part for me for whatever reason. Let's see if I can do it correctly this time. Okay, I do, I got it. So this single panel here, you're gonna glue down on the top. So find your score line and line it up just slightly above your score line. You don't want to put it on the score line because that will be, you won't be able to close your card properly. So there we go. Right there, it's just above my score line. Now this other piece here is going to get glued down. Like this. So what I did was I folded this. So I'm going to flip this upside down like this. This is folded down. And then I'm going to close this. Nope. Wait a second. That's not right. I'm going to fold this and then this piece comes over like this. So make sure that your ends are lined up and you're bringing that to your score line so it looks like this. So that piece is glued down right here. You've got this large flap here, and it goes up to the score line, but not on the score line, okay? So your mechanism portion of this is done. So when you close it, pops open like this. You've got a cute little box. And there goes our gift card. So now, time to decorate. So you're gonna have a white panel embossed that'll go on top. And then I'm gonna use this little postage stamp. Oops. And put that in the corner. Like so. And then we have this for the bottom. I put my little post office box down here in the corner. And then you have a piece of DSP here to put on that larger flap. And just make sure you check which direction you want it to go. And so that goes on our flap like that. Okay. And then we're gonna stamp sending love and joy. Does anyone have a Christmas song going through their head right now? Oops. Wow, that was like a hot mess here on my stamp. Let's ink that up again. Had a lot of ink on that. So I've got sending love and joy. And now we're ready to complete our card with this, putting our inside in. Wow, I thought maybe I would do some leaves today, but I don't think I'm going to be doing leaves today. It is really windy out. So there we go. Third card done. Isn't he cute? Da, 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 da. Open him up. Take your gift card. You can also put money in here too, and same with any of the other cards. If you don't have a gift card and you're giving the gift of money, you can stick money in there too, and that would pop up really cute too. So there is card number 3, and then we would put some rhinestones on our snowflakes also. So here's this one here. We added the rhinestones. Okay, our final card, we went with non-traditional Christmas colors. So we have this beautiful black and white paper from the Modern Day Christmas, and we had some pastel ombre glimmer paper. I believe it's in the Last Chance now, but I had some of it and I hadn't used it yet. So I wanted to add that splash of color in there. So there we go. That's going to be this one. And then your little gift card will just slide in there like that, or your money. Ah, the radio stations are playing Christmas music. I love it. I love Christmas music. My daughter and I will randomly just play Christmas music in the middle of, you know, the summer sometimes. Just, I don't know, Christmas music to me, it's happy music. It's not sad or depressing. It's just happy music. So love listening to Christmas music. Okay, so This piece here is scored in 2 spots. You burnish your edges here, and then with this piece here, your flap, you are going to take and score. So here's your score line. So we're not scoring, we're cutting. Your score line is up here, and you're going to cut down to this corner. Okay? And that is how I created that flap. That goes right there. Okay? All right, so now we've got this is a regular black piece of 5.5 by 4 1/4, and we're gonna add here. So this is Coastal Cabana. I haven't used Coastal Cabana in a while, and I thought this popped really nice with this black. Okay, and then this is a black and white paper. So if you didn't want the gold on there, you could always flip it over and do the black and white trees. But I liked that pop of gold. Okay, so then you're gonna have a piece of black and a piece of DSP, and that goes on the front. Now there's another, when I make this card, I made 2 of each. So one will go together like this, and the other one gets cut diagonally. So it'll get cut like this. So both your black piece and your DSP get cut like that to create your triangle that goes over here. Okay? And you can see we saved paper. Look at that. Look at those pretty ornaments on the back of it. Okay. So this flap here is where you're going to put adhesive. And this goes in the center of your panel here, or your card base, I should say, like that. And this, you're just going to put adhesive down here on the bottom, like that, and then fold it in. So you could do this with any colors. Your regals look really pretty. Like, I love shaded spruce. So if you didn't like Coastal Cabana, you could do shaded spruce or real red, or even like one of the purple colors would look really pretty with this too. And I think in this pack, there's purple, there's shades of purples, the shades of like Coastal Cabana, Pool Party, and the other one is more of a shades of green, but more brighter, so Granny Apple Green like. So you could do any one. Of those shades with this. Okay, so we've got that. So now we're gonna do a little bit of stamping. Not a whole lot of stamping for this one. So, Merry Christmas. And you will see I am using Secret Sea. No, it is not black, but so we'll put Merry Christmas on here. Bring in our Coastal Cabana. And there's a little star in here. So we're going to take that little star and tuck it down here in the corner, like that. And then time to put our sentiment on, which on the front is this long, wishing you peace and joy. And I'm going to lay this flat. Sometimes, because this is longer and thinner, it kind of bends a little bit. Actually, I should do it up higher. You guys can't see this. And I do this a lot with photopolymer, is I'll lay it on a piece of paper or my glass mat here. You can do that with the cling, but not so much the photopolymer, just to make sure I'm putting it on here straight. Not too bad. Sometimes I impress myself by going, I put it on there straight. Okay, so this is our inside piece. So that'll go on this panel here. Like that. And then this here is going to get popped up on our black circle. Just need one more little one. So is anyone making any Thanksgiving plans? Anyone started to plan that out? We will be spending our time at the farm with Christine's family. We'll eat way too much food, and we'll all want to take a nap, and the kids will want to play games. And they'll be begging us to play games, and we'll all want a nap. But there'll be lots of game playing, lots of good food, and probably lots of laughter. Okay, so now what I did with this is I am cutting it apart. So we're going to take Wishing You and Peace and Joy, and then I'm going to cut this down because it's just a little too big. And this is just all freehand. You could bring in your trimmers if you wanted to. I thought maybe a kitty was crashing over here, but that must be... I hear Chris, so maybe that was that. Okay, so we're going to do the same with Peace and Joy. Cut that down. And I give you a bigger piece instead of cutting it down, just in case you don't have this sentiment at home. You could put whatever sentiment you want on your card. So I'd like to give you guys a little bit larger piece, that way you guys can make it your own at home. So now I'm going to take a little bit of this tear tape and put it in the center of my star here. And we have some of that. It's white and gold twine. So it comes in a 2-pack. You've got white and gold and then black and gold. And so I brought in the white and gold, and we're just gonna kind of loop this around like that. And like that. Cut off your extra. Like that. And then we're gonna pop our sentiment up. This looks a little bit fat on one end. There, that looks a little better. And then do the other one. All right, I think I'm gonna put 3 on these just to give them a little bit extra support. So take off all those dimensional backs. And then this is gonna go in the middle of your star here. So wishing you peace and joy. So I'm just putting them in the center. Oops, I pushed this down. So even though I put that tear tape in the middle, you don't see a hole, you don't see it at all because the thread covers it up, and so do our sentiments. So I'm going to take and move my peace and joy over just a little bit, so it's more center with wishing you. There we go. Okay, so this will get popped up in the center of our front panel. And then these cards are completed. So I always like to do this class every year because I always feel like there's always somebody out there that you are giving gift cards or money to, and so I like to have a fun way to give this out to people. So don't forget to like and share, and when you like and share, you get entered in for a prize. So then I brought these in. These are little shaker bits, but they're stars, and I wanted to bring a little bit yet of gold to this front panel. So I'm just going to take 2 little dots of glue and 1 down here, and so you'll get 3 little stars in your kit. Like that. And so just lay those on there. Like that. And there are our gift cards. So let me bring them all in again. So we've got this one where our gift card slides in. Where did I put our gift card, guys? Right here in my bin already. All right, so this goes in like this, or like I said, money can go in these also, or a little note if you have a little bit of a note. This gets slid in right there in our little slot. Right there. And this one here, remember, this, just push your gift card in there like this, and then you use your ribbon and you slide it out like that. So how fun is that? And then we have, oops, this guy here, where your gift card goes in like that and then tucks into this little panel down here. like that. So there we go. There are 4 gift cards for this class. Like I said, these classes will be shipping in December, but if you would like yours earlier than that, let me know. We'll work something out. I know, the holidays are coming pretty fast, so, if you want to get these in before the holidays come and go, let me know and I'll see what I can do to get things shipped out a little bit earlier for you guys. So thank you all for joining me. Don't forget, like and share. Follow me on Facebook. Who do we got here? We got Anna and Christine here. Don't forget, check out the beginning of my video because I showed you guys all sorts of stuff coming up in November. Like I said, I still have 2 classes to finish for November. One is the scrapbooking class workshop that we do 6 alternative pages and 5 cards. I have to finish that one up yet, and the sampler class, which will be a winter themed one and a Christmas one. So you get 2 samplers to choose from, or I shouldn't say choose from, you get to make both samplers. But anyways, everything else that I have for the month of November, check it out. It's at the beginning of the video. And don't forget about my new class that I'm offering. RSVP is the 16th of November. It is called the Winter Creative Box. You can go to my Facebook page. I have all the information there, and I'm going to work on getting an email out also. So anyways, I hope you guys all have a fabulous day. I will be back next week, Friday, I believe. I will be back with the scrapbook workshop. But in the meantime, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. But have a great week, and we will see you next time. Thanks, everyone.
Black trees.